All right, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here at the semifinals for PAC Community Tournament Beta Semifinals. I'm super excited right now, and now we're here at semifinals already. We saw it from last weekend here. We saw some several good plays, like Sigma clutches and Tracer gameplays. Like we have so many talents player here from CEA here, and now we're at the semifinals here. I'm super excited. Like, oh my god, I cast it last weekend, and then along with Twilight Say, there were so many clutches and save, and like yo, I'm so excited here, and I'm really looking forward here for this semifinals here. I'm super excited. There's going to be like an absolutely exciting stuffs going on here. All right, so all right, so for the last weekends here, Tina Godslayer versus Tina Godslayer, and also we have like Wise Cres and DPS versus Game Songs, and we also have Game Songs versus Walk Boys here, and yeah, there's so many good teams here and so many good plays. It's a Tina Godslayer versus Otissia here, and last weekend's Tina Godslayer 2-0 Otissia, and just made it to semifinals, and 4 Wise Cres on DPS 2-1 Game Songs, and for the last games is Walk Boys versus Game Songs, and Game Song to the W here. And so in the semifinals here, we have a G match, a semifinal G match. We have Tina Godslayer from E1, and we have White Skirts and DPS on Group F, second place. And today is going to be like a really exciting thing, and I really want you guys here to do not miss the final smash here tomorrow, 28th February. The final here is going to getting much more exciting than today's smash for sure. And so for the winning team of the tournament here, we get to choose the organization you choose here, to donate for charity as US dollars. And if you guys want to contribute to donation pool, you can click the donation picture link down below here. You do not forget here, if you want to donate, you can click the link down below here. And so that's it for today's schedule. And for now, as we're moving on here, we have a special guest today, which is going to be our analyzers for today. I'm really excited to introduce you guys to our analyzers. All right, so before moving to the match here, let's introduce you guys to these two analyzers, which is Oputo from Thailand here, and we also have Akame here. Say hi, you two.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
hello.
YouTube. Oh, no.
Hey.
All right, so you guys wanna introduce yourself a little bit? All right, start with Oputo.
I'm ex-professional players. Overwatch, yeah, from Thailand.
All right, Akame, you wanna say something?
Hello, I'm Wakame. A retired Overwatch player now because of army. Yeah.
Sad.
Sedge.
Oh,
Army.
this is pretty sad. Army. All right, so here you two will be along with me for the rest of today's live stream. All right, so before we go into match here, I want you two to discuss about the Overwatch current meta. Last weekend we saw like Wrecking Balls here, which is pretty news, and we saw like Reinhardt, Sarah, mostly for the entire days, and we also have seen like Winston Sarah, which is a new couples from last weekends. All right, so what do you guys think about the Overwatch current meta? Like, what's the current meta right now? Like, what do you think?
The current meta? I feel like this current meta is depends on the map
Very a lot
because
variety of
Hmm?
meta.
yeah, variety of meta because you can play. In some map you need to play Ryan. In some map you need to play Orisa. But most of the map you need to play Wrecking Ball because he is busted right now. It's hard to kill Wrecking Ball right now. Yeah. And
So it's
Hmm?
all right. You can keep going.
And support line is, I think Wicked is the must pick sometimes because you need to protect your duo support from Wrecking Ball. Yeah, that what is the meta right now. And the DPS is because of Wrecking Ball is the most playtime right now. So I think so many good players they play Sombra for counter balls as well. Yeah.
From
Alright.
my experience so far, Korea is definitely leaning to like Wrecking Ball, Zarya, Brick Zen. You know, they're more like just annoying the backline, getting picks and all that. But when I play in NA, it's mostly like Ryan Zarya and playing Rush Com, just trying to roll through the enemy. So there's quite a few different meta for each region, I would say. Yeah, I kind of like the game state.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't have a fixed meta that you have to follow to win games. You can play whichever meta that your team is suitable in.
All right, so yeah, we get both opinions from you two analysis here, and all right, so let's move on here. And now we have 4 teams competing in the semifinals, which are to the Godslayer, McDonald's Fan Club, Game Stonks, and also another team which is Cres and DPS. So is there like any team like you're interested in, you're looking forward here, or is there any team like you wanna vouch for? Like from the last weekend here, we saw to the Godslayer just play for 3 games, they win all of them. And for the rest for another 3 teams, they win some, they lose some, they win 2 matches, and they lost like only 1 match here. Like, what do y'all think? Start with Akame.
I'm more interested in Tinder Godslayer. Their Zarya play is like absolutely really good. He charges Graph really fast, always cleans up fight for his team, and just wins fight with just his Graph. And he's always dealing constant damage and just allowing his team to push forward and just win fights, get picks, all that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking out for today.
Tuna Godslayer. Well, they popped up last weekend, so I cannot really argue with that. All right, so Obito, what do you think?
I think Tinder Godslayer is interesting team as well, because I can see like the reason why Desiree player can play like so easily and Damage players can like do a lot of damage because they have Reinhardt who try to protect their team, and the Hanzo try to pressure that front line, like enemy front line. You know what I mean? Because of that, so Zarya and McCree can do like easy job for the team. Yeah, because of Tank and Hanzo, I guess. That's
So
why I feel
Tanks,
like, yeah.
So Tanks like created space for DPS to do some more damages. So
Yeah.
that's why you're rooting for Tinder Godslayer. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the good thing about Tinder Godslayer, because they know how to like plan before the fight. You know what I mean? Like they set up
yes.
the plan before the fight, and they execute pretty well.
Yes. All right. So we heard opinion here from analysis here about what you think about the team. All right. So before we're going to start it with Tinder Godslayer versus Cres and DPS here, I have a couple questions to ask you two, like about the both teams here. All right. So let's move on with the first question here. What do you think Cres and DPS gonna play today? I'll start out with Obito.
Which com, right?
Yeah, like which com, which tanks, which DPS, which supports.
It's interesting because this team is they didn't play the same com at the first day and the second day on group stage. The first day, they used Ryan with Zarya, right? And the second day they swap the roles and played Wrecking Ball and Diva, I think. Yeah, Wrecking Ball Diva. So I think they're pretty success on Wrecking Ball and Diva. I think they're gonna play Wrecking Ball Diva with Echo. I'm pretty sure.
All right. So, what do you think, Akame? Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, like what Obudo said, that the Cres on DPS, they changed the tank lineup. They started playing Wrecking Ball and Diva, they swap in between Rise Zarya as well. Now Charmaine playing Zarya, and there's definitely seen some even more success with Charmaine on Zarya, and I think that the dive com and the poke com is just working out for them. So I think they'll play more of the Wrecking Ball today.
All right, so they're quite unpredictable, right? From Wise, Cres, and DPS. All right, so for the second question, say which tank duo is better between Tinder Godslayer or Wise, Cres, and DPS? What do you think? Start off with Akame.
I think it would be honestly just Inner God Slayer's tank lineup. The Zarya is just like dealing so much damage to the team. Charmaine with the off tank, he have some like clutch grabs, clutch flux in the last week's match, and
Alright.
I'm definitely interested to see like the fight between both off tanks, and we'll see that today maybe.
Ah. All right. So, what do you think, Obito, about this tank duel between these two teams?
I don't think that tank line gonna fight each other a lot because why is Chess on DPS? They play a lot of like reliable on DPS players to make play, and I feel like if we talk about like duo tank, I think Tinder got duo is better. Yeah, but I don't think that tank gonna fight each other a lot.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. So both of you think that today Godslayer tanks lineup is better than Wise, Cres, and DPS. All right. So we will see that later in the game. So yeah, y'all too, we know soon. All right. So for the first question here, what's the difference you notice between these two teams? Like these two teams play in the last weekend here. Like, what's the difference you notice between these two teams? Start off with Oputo.
I feel like Tinder God is reliable on create space for their DPS to play, and YHS on DPS they're reliable on DPS too much and reliable on only one comp too much. I feel like Tinder God might be the better team today because Tinder God they play a lot of McCree. I'm pretty sure they're gonna play McCree every single map, and YHS on DPS will got counter like so hard from McCree because they play a lot of Echo last week, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
All right. What about you, Akame?
I think the difference between these two teams is about who they are putting resources into. And for Tinder God Slayer, I noticed that they're putting a lot of resources into Zarya. Kind of like how Washington Justice put resources into DK when it's like the Winston Zarya meta, was it? I can't really remember.
That was Roadhog with Zarya meta.
Yeah, the Hog Zarya meta. And they're just putting resources into DK and he can carry it, and I can see some similarity with these two teams, and Tinder God Slayer is just like putting resources in hopes that their Zarya player would carry the game. But for Wise Cres on DPS, they are putting resources into their DPS more, they're creating space for their DPS. They are depending on the picks that their DPS players get in order to win fights. So this is like the difference I noticed between these two.
Right. So yeah, these are differences between two teams that these two analyzers notice. All right. So for the last question, say that I'm going to ask you two is which team do you think is overall better? Which team, to the Godslayer or White Scarce and DPS? All right. Start out with Akame.
I think Tinder God Slayer would be overall better. We could from the past matches you can see like the synergies in team fights, knowing when to back off when the enemy is committing ults, and Cres on DPS they definitely have some great DPS players. Their tank lineups are decent as well, but I think Tinder God Slayer will just come out on top in terms of overall team play.
All right. So what about you, Obuto? Which teams do you think is overall better?
Yeah, I do agree with Akame that Tinder God Slayer is overall better. Like, from what I watch, it's like they know how to plan the fight. They know how to win the fight. They know how to support each other. How to play like as a unit, like 6 players play together. Not like why it's just on DPS they play like reliable on pick from DPS. It's kind of hard for the team sometimes if their DPS got like hard pressure. Yeah.
All right. So both of the analyzers agree that the God Slayers is going to outplay White Cres and DPS. But well, who knows? Anything can happen here. Like White Cres and DPS like can bounce back on to the God Slayer, or it can be only to the God Slayer just dominating White Cres on DPS here. All right. So before we go into moving forward here, let's take a look at predictions here. So this is best of 5, right? So first to 3 is going to win the match there. So what is your predictions here? Like who's going to win? Like what score is gonna be? Or start off with Oputo.
Me?
Yeah.
Let me think. What is the first map?
First map is gonna be, let me see, Busan. It's Busan.
I think Busan is kind of Tinder God Slayer map. I feel like the first map Tinder gonna win for sure. But for this match, I think it's gonna be like 3-1. Tinder God Slayer win.
Yeah. All right. So 3-1 from Obuto. Hey, what about you, Akame?
The first map is Busan. I think it's gonna favor Tinder God Slayer more. I think that the map suits their playstyle more, and yeah, I think I'm gonna follow with. So I think it's gonna be 3-1 with for Tinder God Slayer.
All right. So, well, both of you agree that it's going to be 3-1 in a Team the Gaslayer's favor, right? All right. So, well, we got some opinions from both analysts here, but let's not forget our casters today. We have both here. We have Arsis and Always Shake here, who's going to cast the entire of the live stream here. So let's introduce you two casters, Arsis and Always Shake.
What's up, boys?
All right. So yeah, anything you want to say to these two matches between to the God Slayer and White Cres and DPS? Like, what's your predictions here? Start out with Always Shake.
Oh, me. Okay. I think that Tinder God Slayer is definitely gonna win because, in my opinion, I think that they're just a better team. So it's not that I don't think Wise Crest on DPS is good or anything, but as both Oputo and Akame mentioned, they rely too heavily on their DPS lineup to pop off, and they don't actually work on coordinating with each other to use resources together. So I think that's what really sets aside the differences between the two teams here. So I think Tinder God Slayer is gonna win.
All right. So what about you, Arsis? What's your prediction here?
I think this will be a battle of two playstyles, Tinder God Slayer on the Brawl and Wise Crest DPS on the Wrecking Ball dive. However, looking back at the matches, I think Tinder God Slayer has the better synergy and I think they'll take this game 3-0.
Wow, so everyone said casters and analyzers, they're all vouch for to the God Slayers, but well, like I said, who knows, like anything can happen. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that everyone's here is rooting for Tinder God Slayer here. All right, so I'm gonna leave the jobs here for you two, so we all can see together who's going to win this match here. And all right, so well, it's you two's time now, Arsis and O Shakes here. I'm gonna leave your jobs to you two, and have fun casting the matches. And we're also excited right now. All right, so yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Pupa and Akame and Oputo for analyzing the pre-match. So first map is Busan, yes?
Yes, it's the choice of Tinder God Slayer as they were the higher seed in the second stage of the group stage. They has chosen Busan, which seems because they favor the rush playstyle with the Rhine, and some maps on Busan, particularly Mecha Base and the one with the Sanctuary, really favor the rush. So I think they are playing to the advantage. And getting the first map win from the right start will be a huge advantage for them in the rest of the series.
As they should be. What I'm really excited about Tinder God Slayer is actually just the brawl comps. I think they actually execute the brawl fights and the brawl comps the most clean out of any other teams in the tournament, and which is why I really enjoy watching them play.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of teams in this tournament running the Brawl, running the Rhine, and Tinder Godslayer, they were the ones in the group stage who managed to use that playstyle against the mirror of other Rhine Brawls, and they were the ones who came out on top. So certainly looking at the semi-finals, they have the huge advantage to win in this match. It seems like we're still waiting on one player right now as we'll take a look at the rosters of both teams. So on the side of Tinder Godslayer will be a fully Thai roster. Aftershock, Very Good Boy, Lin, Junkrat, Violate, and Reboots will be their starting roster. Any names that stand out here, Overshake?
No. I don't really have any idea who these players are, but I've seen them absolutely destroy teams in this tournament here. Especially Junkrat, actually. I really enjoyed watching his performance. I saw him actually play Junkrat in Eichenwald, which, you know, it's kind of funny because his name is Junkrat. So you would expect him to be quite good at that hero.
If you watch the highlight video, Junkrat actually on Eichenwald defense, he double concussion mine up into air, landed right into the backline of the enemy team and used his rip tire and just demolished the entire backline. And Lin and Junkrat will be the DPS line of Tinder Godslayer. So yeah. Now let's take a look at the next team. I'll let you have this one, Overshake.
Alright, and on the side of Wise Cres on DPS, we have Ampha, Charmaine on the tank line, Claire, Fear of God on the support line. Ooh, this is actually quite interesting.
They are the DPS, the graphic is wrong.
Oh, okay, so they're the DPS, and Adrealis and Nabbit on the support line. So, yeah, any names that stand out here, Arxis?
Fear of God, a very good hit scan. Able to take his team and carry his other DPS partner Claire, the namesake on this team, all right up to the semi-finals. Aside from that, what is interesting is that between the first day and the second day of the first week, they swapped around their tank line. Previously, they had Charmaine on the main tank, and it seems after day one, they retooled their roster, rethought their strategies a bit, and Charmaine now on the off tank, now on maybe some of his comfort pick like the Zaya, and switching up to Ampha to more of a dive playstyle on the Wrecking Ball. So we'll be taking a look at the map pools right now, it should be, and well, we mentioned previously, this will be a best of 5 series, which means whichever team takes the first 3 maps will be winning. And Tinder Godslayer, as the highest seed in the group stage, have chosen Busan as their first choice. What do you expect on this map, Overshake?
I believe that Busan, we're gonna see a lot of Ryan Zarya, especially on Mecha Base and Sanctuary, as people have mentioned, like our analysts. And yeah, I think maybe Fear of God might whip out the Widow, because I saw him play Widow in King's Row and all the other maps. He absolutely slaps on Widow. So yeah, as I said, Wise Cres on DPS really depends on their DPSs to pop off. And Tinder God Slayer being an all-rounder, just being able to coordinate with each other. So yeah, we're gonna see how things turn out here.
Yeah, it'll be up to Cres or his in-game name known as Claire to prove that there shouldn't be any doubt that he's on the DPS, as so said by the team name. Entering the game right now will be starting out onto Downtown. As you said, Fear of God, this is a very sniper. This can be a map where snipers can be played. So we will see if Fear of God decides to pull out the Widow.
Alright, and on the side of Tinder Godslayer, we're already looking at some double bubble action with Lin on the McCree, Junkrat on the Tracer. Quite an interesting composition of Ana Zen coming in from the support line here. The Ana Zen isn't really going to be able to help each other out that much, so they're going to have to execute a very clean dive here.
Once again, what we mentioned, Empha will be on the Wrecking Ball and seems Tinder Godslayer will be opting for the double bubble comp, Winston and Zaya. Looking to play onto the main before collapsing onto the back line of Wise Cres on DPS.
Alright,
Claire on
Wise
the
Cres.
echo. We've seen it before as both teams are opting to go through main and Empha looking for a flank right now.
Aftershock already holding the space of main right here really well, but it seems that Fear of God does take out Lin and both the supports as well. Wow.
Well, in quick fashion, Fear of God somehow manages to get 3 kills, 2 of them onto the backline of Tinder Godslayer and Tinder Godslayer back to spawn. They see the dive and they immediately swap reboots onto the brig.
Maybe relying on your DPS to pop off isn't so bad after all when you have such a god like Fear of God. Even gods fear him. Sheesh.
I wonder what god he fears though.
Okay, let's
not
stop
get to
before.
that. Damage boost on the Cres, looking to poke out the Winston right now. Aftershock just establishing the space, but Empha goes in onto the back line already. Right now, both teams are in the neutral, no outs yet, but Aftershock decides to take the early engage, gets snapped, but the bubble from Very Good Boy protects him, and meantime, Lin gets the quick Q onto Adrelis as Empha returns the favor onto him.
Tinder God Slayer just being able to walk up onto Wise Crest on DPS with their combo. Actually,
Nice
Ampha
minefield.
getting 2 with the minefield, getting 3!
Great ultimate there, clearing the space onto the back line from Empha. Let's get a replay on that. He already gets 2 before he even pops the ultimate. With the ultimate's pop, separating the back line, gets Junkrat and reboots onto their respective heroes and gets the finishing slam on the Violet. So that's not 3 kills actually, it's 5 within the course of that fight. Empha once again into the back line, but nice peel coming out there from the flashbang and reboots on the brig.
Alright, Tinder God Slayer somehow managing to. Oh my,
Aftershock,
Aftershock getting
how does he
2
do that?
picks! He gets 2 with the train! Ampha Nabbit goes back into spawn. Lin takes down Shermaine, but Shermaine bringing Nabbit along with him.
Aftershock utilizing the map to his advantage, knocking 2 of the members into the train of Busan. As it seems, Tinder Godslayer will be taking the point for the first time this map.
Wise Crest on DPS actually doing a really good job at being able to hold for so long. I honestly thought that this was going to be a very one-sided match in Busan, but it seems that Wise Crest on DPS is able to hold their ground here.
It's up to Very Good Boy. Right now he has the Graviton Surge. Maybe try to isolate either the backline or the Wrecking Ball. That's it. Empha goes on along with the dive, coming with the Nano Boost onto Fear of God, and he already gets one onto Lin's McCree. Both bubbles are out. This is it. Tinder Godslayer are so vulnerable right now without the protection of the Zaya. As Fear of God looking to clean up. As Shermaine gets a nice eat onto the Very Good Boy's Graviton Surge. But
But it seems
after a while,
Tinder Slayer.
Tinder Godslayer still have the advantage. As the copy from Claire onto the Zaya does not really work as well as they thought, as Tinder Godslayer the tanks clean up onto Wise Crest on DPS.
That was quite unfortunate. If only Wise Crest on DPS decided to hard commit on that fight, they would have been able to actually win that, because Lin got picked off on Tinder Godslayer's side, which is a very important pick because Lin is the high burst damage DPS, being the McCree here. But it seems like this is gonna be on Wise Crest on DPS's favor, with Ampha on the minefield and Charmaine with the Diva Bomb.
Adrialis swaps over the break, no more mercy for him, which means Claire will have to play a bit more safe. No more pocket promise, the bomb comes out, nice lemon to Empha, capitalizes on the bomb as he catches Lin. They're down 1 DPS right now. That's a consistent source of damage gone from Tinder Godslayers. Aftershock looking to make what he can, but he gets bursted down from Fear of God.
Aftershock being unfortunately slept right there. He couldn't get the opportunity to pop his primal. Fear of God with the pulse bomb. Yeah, unfortunately he misses that, but it seems that Wise Crest on DPS is going to be able to win this fight here.
It seems so. Finishing the kill onto Very Good Boy. But last fight territory for Tinder Godslayer. They can reset fast, but maybe it's still winnable for them as Aftershock gets the primal kill onto Shermaine.
Oh my,
Coming back.
Aftershock.
Tinder Godslayer just coming back one by one, trying to regroup. They have the Nano Boost, they have the Grab. That's a lot of huge outs, game-changing outs for them as Nano Boost comes out onto Aftershock. Cleaving the backline, but off screen. Fear of Gods already gets 2 onto Junkrat and Violet. Very Good Boy has the Grab. Gets eaten by Charmaine again. Charmaine doing such a good job eating 2 grabs this round as still a back and forth. But Tinder Godslayers, they have the number advantage, and without the mech from Charmaine, it seems like at the last moment of this round, Tinder Godslayer will be the one to come up as Lin catches the cleanup onto Nabit. It's just cleanup at this point. It's basically Tinder's Godslayer's game right now. This is their round on downtown. Mines comes out from Ampha. Nothing much she can do, just swing around onto the pillar as a nice Fender Hammer Q onto Adrialis comes out.
Oh my. This is absolutely heart-crushing for Wise Cres on DPS. They came so far, but it just seems that it isn't how it's gonna be. With Charmaine eating both the grabs coming in from Very Good Boy, and Ampha putting such a good performance on the Wrecking Ball, but unfortunately Wise Cres on DPS wasn't able to take this map here.
Close round on downtown, going 99 to 100 in the favor of Tinder Godslayer. Sorry. But sorry about that. And although it's just the first round, Tinder Godslayer showing, actually both teams showing their ability to counter swap, both teams opting for a break. And the game isn't over yet, as this is just the first round of the first map, and it still can go anyone either way. And once again, the playstyle differences are showing so heavily right now for both teams. Interesting comp comes out from Wise Cres on DPS.
The Bastion, I haven't seen this character be played on any tournament in so long. Good lord. It seems that Wise Cres on DPS is going to take control of the high ground right side of point here, while Tinder Godslayer is going to be taking control of the top left. Now this is actually a really good decision coming in from Wise Cres on DPS, because with the Bastion, all they have to do is just set up and wait for the brawl to come towards them.
They even have Soldier 76's heal if anything rushes onto them, and that is Claire already gets a pick onto Junkrat. Tinder Godslayer trying to rotate to the point right now, but Wise Cres on DPS, they have the high ground advantage. Rotate, nice rotate coming up. It's up to Tinder Godslayer right now to catch the rotation, but it seems like they can't, they just opt to cap the point, which they do.
That is indeed quite unfortunate. Wise Cres on DPS with quite a set plan here, but unfortunately they're unable to push up, and Ampha goes down from Junkrat's storm arrows, and Tinder Godslayer is just gonna be walking towards Wise Cres on DPS.
Nice charge! Charge from downtown, catches Charmaine, and the immortality is not there to save him. Claire gets a return kill on Lin, but the fight is already over, and even after some picks from Claire on the Bastion, Tinder Godslayer remains stable on the pine with their Rhine shoot, and they kept the first fight.
Wise Cres on DPS making the decision to go back to their dive comp. Claire on the Echo, Fear of God on the Soldier. He has the Visor, and he's in it to win it. Visor window coming in from Cres on DPS for the next fight here, but Tinder Godslayer with both the tank ults.
Disruption already coming in from Ampha to follow up with Adrialis, this Amplification Matrix. Fear of God right now just standing on the opposite side of the map, popping his Tactical Visor, but the shield is there from Aftershock. There's nothing much he can do, even with Ampha's Lamb.
There's just absolute chaos going in from all sides of the point. Window comes in from Reboots, and so does the beat from Violet. Tinder Godslayer is just walking up to Wise Cres on DPS right now, but fortunately none of the members fall. Oh, I spoke too soon. Adrelis and Claire and Charmaine, they all go down.
Very Good Boy was on so high energy on the Xayah last fight, just pumping in the damage, and swaps look to come out from Wise Cres on DPS. Cres already swaps onto the Echo last fight, and Adrialis will follow, but he swaps back to the Baptiste. Interesting, still re-evaluating their strategy, looking to go swap completely from the double shoot approach to a very heavily dive with their previous comp they played last round. The Baptiste, however, is a weird choice with the comp they're playing. Nothing much, maybe to stabilize the Ana, but let's see what they can do with this comp. Very Good Boy, he has the grab. They're looking to go as they just rush in. Nice grab, and Dragon Strike comes out. How many kills can he get? 1 and 2. And that's about it, as that may be the cleanup. And Tinder Godslayer right now 99% is up to Wise Cres on DPS to clutch back.
Claire just showing Aftershock the MTD before he goes down. But yeah, Tinder Godslayer taking back the point here with relative ease, it seems. And yeah, I think
it's still not over yet. Still not over yet, as Wise Cres on DPS are rushing back to the point with Lucio's speed boost. Very Good Boy right now on the cleanup. So high energy, and Lin right at the back line looking to clean up the rest of Wise Cres on DPS. Just pushing in the shotgun pellets. nothing Wise Cres on DPS can do, but maybe Fear of God can turn this around, get a Pulse Bomb Q along with Claire, but it might be too late already. Just trying to stall as much as it can, but at the end of the day, it's Tinder Godslayer stabilizing and taking map 1 Busan away from Wise Cres on DPS.
Both teams have shown really good plays on both the maps here, but unfortunately, Tinder Godslayer just taking the cake and winning both the maps, it seems.
Indeed, so on the second round, proving that the Bastion is no match for their rush as it just stabilized good rotations from both teams, but at the end of the day, Tinder Godslayer was the one that are able to come out on top this round. However, you have to remember, this is a best of 5, not like our group stage match. This match will be longer by 1 map, so it will be a first to 3, so both teams, Wise Cres on DPS still has a chance to turn this around.
Indeed. I actually feel that if Wise Cres on DPS set up on point right there, on the second point, after getting the pick, it would have been fine because they just have the heals to sustain the brawl along with the double shield to help it out. So maybe if they set up on point because they have a Bastion to just melt down the front line, I think that maybe they could have gotten out victorious on the first point fight there.
I think they were a bit too nervous that Tinder Godslayer were already on the point right now. And to remind everyone, viewers, this is a charity tournament, so the price of the tournament is $30 donated to the charity of the winner's choice. And donations are open, where 100% of the proceeds will be used to fund the donation pool of our next charity event or tournament. And we might have reward tiers that will be announced soon, so scan the QR code or go to the link ko-fi/Pacific Overwatch to donate. And yeah, so it's all for a good cause.
So just honestly, I think that Wise Cres on DPS did.
I just saw your shirt and a lot of people in chat are also mentioning what's written.
Oh yeah. All right. This is a branded shirt, Dickies. I'm allowed to say it on stream, by the way. And as I was saying, I think Wise Cres on DPS did actually quite a good job on the first point there. Ampha showing us some big plays with the ball, really showing us what he's been working on. And yeah, I'm actually honestly quite surprised. The tank work between Wise Cres on DPS was definitely exceptional.
Yeah, actually I saw Ampha on stream the other day actually practicing a lot of ball rollouts, and even though a lot of rollouts have been heavily affected by the recent knockback nerf of Wrecking Ball, some of them still work, and Ampha putting in the hours, just maximizing the utility that his Wrecking Ball can provide in this match. And Busan will be won by Tinder Godslayer as we move on to the next map, which will be Wise Cres on DPS's choice.
Alright, and it seems that we're going to be dropping right into King's Row. Quite an interesting choice because Tinder Godslayer is going to be wanting to play Brawl in King's Row here since it's such a close and compact map. Now, it's quite interesting that King's Row came out so early in this set right here.
You wouldn't expect Wise Cres on DPS, a team that really favors the Wrecking Ball, to choose such a close quarters map such as King's Row. And even though you don't have to play the Rhine of King's Row, most people, if they don't play the Rhine, they'll play the Winston Zaya, and that's not something that Wise Cres on DPS has really shown yet. So let's see what type of strategy, they have anything new to show, and Ampha will be still playing for them, not for sure their other tank member.
Wow, London is such a beautiful city right here. Look at that. Is this London? I think it is, right?
I should be, but I heard London has kind of shit weather though. Don't think...
I mean, it is.
And
true.
I think they
it's
have.
very
I
cloudy
think
here.
a lot of like
There.
British people also don't like keep saying their food is really bad. Like it's not like other people saying it, it's the British who say it, right?
I mean, well, anything.
I mean, aside of like fish and chips, like what other British food can you think of, right? Really?
Not really anything, but this is the beauty of Overwatch, guys. A real life city can be turned into anything of your imagination.
Not
We're
really,
dropping
this
right
isn't,
into King's
like,
Row.
I mean, this isn't
Okay,
really a real
listen.
life city. There's literally hundreds of Omnics living underground, but getting back into the game, Wise, Cres, and DPS will be on attack. And Fear of God perched up onto the high ground, looking to expose anyone that disrespects his sideline and Claire back onto his Mei. Claire actually played Mei a lot of this tournament, especially on King's Row. However, previously, it didn't really work out too well for them. And let's see whether they change the strategy a bit, change how they play the Mei a bit, and whether they can rush onto the side of Tinder Godslayer as Lin already gets a pick onto Fear of God.
An interesting tank swap here between Ampha and Charmaine. I almost thought that for certain that Ampha would be playing the Rhine here instead of Charmaine, but I guess not. Fear of God, for some reason, picking the Tracer on this situation against a McCree Hanzo. So yeah, it's gonna be life is gonna be really hard for Fear of God. Window already coming in from Adrelis though, not really getting any picks, but it seems that Wise Cres on DPS is already able to get a tick here.
They're just capping the point, stabilizing right now, but Tinder Godslayer does not want that to happen. Nano already comes out onto Aftershock and catches the Q onto the opposing Rhine. And Tinder Godslayer just rushed back on the point with another kill from Lin, which is actually doing really well this game, getting key picks after picks. And what's weird is that Wise Cres on DPS are doing this again. They're opting for a really like half comp. They have the Rhine, the Mei, but they don't really have a Lucio to rush in, and the other DPS now swaps onto a Tracer, which is really weird looking at the composition.
Indeed, Tinder Godslayer already has the Grav Dragon ready for this fight here. Heinun comes in from Lin already. Nice wall to counter parry that. Shatter comes in from Charmaine. Oh no, Lin just shoots him down like a duck.
The Shadow gets nothing as Lin just shuts him down mid-animation, and Tinder Godslayer still on the defense, stabilizing the point, not letting Wise Cres on DPS through. However, Wise Cres on DPS are coming out to some game-changing outs right now. The Mei Blizzard and the Graviton Surge are what you should look out for next fight. But Tinder Godslayer also has a deadly combo of their own. The Dragon Strike fed into a Graviton Surge can get insane multi-kill as the rotation comes out onto the hotel, as the wall comes out separating the team, and the Grav comes out. The early engaging first from Wise Cres and DPS, but the Dragon Strike there is Pew for Tinder Godslayer.
Alright, Transcendence already coming in from Reboots though. Very good boy, not really popping his Grav at all, even though Junkrat has already used the Dragon Strike, and it seems that Wise Cres on DPS is just able to cap this one.
Tinder Godslayer opting to give the point away, don't really want to waste unnecessary deaths on the first point, just back up to stabilize onto the choke of the second point. Very good boy, did not commit his grab, so they still have that along with other ultimates that they can use.
Alright, I want to see some huge plays from Aftershock here with the Nano Boost ready and the Shatter in hand. We'll see what this man is able to do here. Fear of God though has the Pulse Bomb. Maybe he might be able to stick both the supports here. We'll see how it goes.
I can't really see Fear of God on the map right now. I would assume he's on a flank somewhere. And very good boy, he still has the grab, and that's a Shadow coming out. Heal Shadow, actually not really, but that's two, but that's already enough because Adrialis already falls. Ampha tries to return the kill, and that's a nice anti. Catches Charmaine. Nice Shadow, fall on the ground. Charmaine, the right difference is here as he catches 4 from the side of Tinder Godslayer, pushing his team to the advantage of second point.
Now that is a moderately sized Shatter. Aftershock going into commit after he shattered the Mei and the Rhine, but unfortunately he was walled off, and Violet, couldn't actually provide the nano boost to assist Aftershock on to whatever he wanted to do after that.
Very good boy, has been holding his grab for 2 points now, and he really needs to use it now. He'll just be wasting the opportunity to farm another Claire onto another Blizzard, and the Blizzard grab combo is what led them to cap first point. But speaking of that, Jungray already gets a nice kill to Adrialis, and the rest of Wise Cres on DPS are forced to fall back without their speed boost.
Now that is the most Hanzo kill that I've ever seen, and another most Hanzo kill that I've ever seen as well.
What's interesting is that Junkrat calls himself Junkrat, but we haven't seen the Junkrat yet, and he's actually been playing a lot of different heroes, so not one we expect to play from someone with that name.
Quite a flexible individual indeed, but Tinder Godslayer already with 5 ults in their economy. Wise Cres on DPS really needs to play smart here.
They're just rushing in. Now what is that? Ampha,
Oh my god, Fear of God! What is going on?
he does not care that Ampha commits suicide. He wants to take it into his own hands, and utilizing the parting gift of the grab from Enfa before he falls down as he catches 3 with the pulse bomb.
Empa right there, he hit a 3-man grab, and I think he did a little celebratory dance
You know what?
just to
Why I
jump
think
off the
happened
map.
that he wanted to rocket jump like across the payload, but Adrenalis at that same point in time M-speed and that caused him to fall off the map. But right now we're already on the next fight. Junkrat gets a nice kill onto Claire. Deadeye from lane forces the rest of Wise Crest on DPS to back out. Charmaine just on the front line, poking and prodding, looking for any opportunity to land his Shatter along with Aftershock. Both teams have their Shatter right now. Just swinging in. Nano comes on the Charmaine, he's pushing in the front line, but he's anti. Not much he can do, but there's a nice Shatter, catches 4. Once again, the back line just down on the ground. Tinder Gods, they have nothing to do. They can't do anything, and with 2 outs still left, they can't really contest anymore. Fear of God has the pulse bomb to clean up, but he doesn't even need that as Wise Crest on DPS managed to cap King's Row with a 2 minutes time bank.
The main Tracer DPS lineup somehow working in this situation against a McCree and Hanzo. How is this possible?
Seems like we're in for a close game. Wise Crest on DPS, they do not care that they lost the first map because this is their map pick. They pick King's Row and they certainly know what to play on it.
Wise
they
Crest
want
on
to play on it,
DPS. Wow, they've been exceeding my expectations this game, man. They're beating Tinder Godslayer on their own game. They're able to fight out the brawl and actually win Tinder Godslayer, and yeah. This
Well, if
is
you take
really
a look at
surprising
it
for me to
on
see.
more detail, Tinder Gods they are playing a really vulnerable backline one right now. Even their defense just now, they're playing Ana and Zen, 2 really squishy flex support heroes that can't really defend themselves, and a Lucio speed boost rush onto them. Fear of God coming in from behind, and there's nothing much Violate can reboots can do to counteract that, and they're still opting to play the Ana Zen, maybe a comfort pick, but not really working too well for them.
Tinder Godslayer looking to play the double bubble comp. Okay, maybe not. I think in this map they picked Monkey just to scout, but yeah.
Now, I wouldn't think so. Monkey's actually really good on this map. If you watch Overwatch League show matches, a lot of teams are playing Winston and on this map because of how close quarter it is. And you're wrong, Overshake. It seems like they're rolling out onto the Winston, and I'm correct.
Oh my! It seems that I need to take down my notes from the league here, but yeah, I had a bad composition coming in from Tinder Godslayer. Quite an interesting comp for the supports here. Nothing is really going on right now. Quite a skirmish standoff between the 2 teams here, while Aftershock makes the jump straight into Wise Crest on DPS while coming in from Cres already without resources here. And yeah, Aftershock is just getting booped around.
Tinder Gods there right now just playing it slow, looking to see if there's any mistake they can pounce on the side of Wise Crest on DPS. But 2 ticks are already lost from the side of Wise Crest on DPS. They need to make their advance now. Shockwave jumping into the backline. There's not much they can do, but very good boy lane. They get the kills onto the respective opponents, and it seems like nice with their double bubble composition. They managed to quickly cap first point.
Now, the lack of a McCree from Wise Crest on DPS side really allows Aftershock just to do whatever he wants, and Claire actually making the decision to swap over to Reaper, which is actually quite a smart idea here.
Tinder Gods they are coming out to 6 ultimates and rotate their ultimates well. They can actually establish a really good out economy in this map, which will let them to dominate and roll through their attack phase. Wise Crest the DPS, Claire swaps onto the Reaper, wants to give more of a frontline damage to maybe counteract Aftershock. Fear of God in the back line right now, but the rest of his team are already grabbed, and the Dragon Strike comes out with a clean up too. And it seems like, despite Fear of God's nice attempt to flank, the front line crumbles for Wise Crest on DPS, and Tinder Godslayer continues to push.
Massive Grav Dragon combo coming in from Tinder Godslayer here, really just destroying what Wise Crest on DPS had on the table for them. Nabbit though, using his nano boost onto Charmaine, I believe, for that fight. And yeah, it just went to waste, unfortunately, but Wise Crest on DPS here going close to their grab.
Looking at Lin
pulse
right
here.
now, here's the high noon. Nice grab comes to the Enfa. One of the high noon still active. There's nothing much Wise Cres on DPS can do, but that's a nice shatter. Once again catching 4. Every shatter Charmaine's land, he somehow manages to catch 4. And the cleanup is there, just capitalizing onto the nice shatter from Charmaine, and Wise Cres on DPS stabilized at the end of second point.
Oh, Charmaine really proving that the DPS isn't really the highlight of Wise Cres on DPS here. And yeah, it seems like he's just able to dominate the tank line fight right now.
Yeah, all Tinder God Slayer have right now is the Nano, and so is Wise Cres DPS. Next fight will be a battle of the Nano Boost. Whoever can Nano Boost more efficiently might be able to just clutch out this fight. Nano Boost comes down onto the main tank. Charmaine swinging right now is free real estate for him, and he's pounding the rest of Tinder God Slayer into the ground with his hammer. And that's it. Just one out, manages to clean up the fight for Wise Cres on DPS.
That right click coming in from Ampha hit Aftershock as like a 3-pointer shot. Oh no, that was sad to see. Every time Winston dies, just I feel like a part of me is getting crumbled because it's like watching Ameng die, you know?
Well, you won't be sad anymore because there are no more Winston onto the field. Aftershock drops to the right. Looking to contest Charmaine, but Charmaine has the shatter. Let's see if he can get another format shatter. Turns out he can't this fight because he's already dead, and Lin catches the kill fast.
Alright, Lin coming in with a Deadeye already, does take down Nabbit. Nano Boost coming in, and Ampha goes down along with the team. Oh. Yeah, little Lucio, scurry away while you have the time.
Hey, that's what you do every game, no?
No, I die.
And despite Wise Cres and DPS heavy time bank in their own attack, Tinder Gods there is to show, hey, we can attack too, we can play the brawl too, and coming to third point, they have a time bank of 3 minutes and 40, and they have another combo, the Dragon Strike, the Graph, proving time and time again an effective combo, and there's the Graph comes out, however, not from very good boys from the side of Enfa, and a nice stick from Fear of God, both DPS outs committed from both sides, catching a one-on-one trade.
Ooh, Charmaine. Oh no, that shatter didn't really hit home right as he wanted it to. Lin though does able to kick Adrelis, unfortunately, and
Nice
very good
reaction
boy with the grab here. Seems like he's gonna be able to catch both the tanks, and Beat
Nice.
comes in a little too late to save Charmaine.
Everything. They're just putting every resource right now to pocket Enfa. The Nano Boost comes up for him, the Sound Barrier also comes out for him. He's just beaming down 100 energy right now. Lin tries to Deadeye, tries to zone him out, but he's anti. So low health right now. Someone needs to finish out the McCree off the side of Lin, but no one can do it. It seems like Tinder God Slayer just pushing onto the point right now, especially with the Transcendence. Not really much that can out damage that.
But Ampha might be able to turn this fight around as he's near the grab
Aftershock with
already.
the Shatter.
Oh no! The hopes of Wise Cres on DPS winning that fight was just crushed in an instant from Aftershock Shatter right there.
Even though he only shattered one, he gets the capitalization in. Sometimes in Overwatch, you don't need to land a huge out. You just need the out that can help your team get the advantage, and that's what happened here from Aftershock. Enfa wasn't really at a distance where he could hide from Charmaine's shield, and he gets caught out by the shatter and the nano charge. There's no way you can protect that, and Enfa falls and the rest of his team just crumble, leading Tinder God Slayer to just push through the third point, and they actually have the time bank advantage here.
Reboots already using Trance at the last fight right there. So Ampha really had the free grab, and if he managed to catch the front line, it would have made the nano on the Rhine useless, but no, Aftershock said no to that, and he just landed a fatty shatty onto Ampha and just took him down. Oh my, this is some good water. Alright, Wise Cres on DPS, for some reason they keep forcing the Tracer. I don't understand their decision here, but it seems that, yeah, a little conga line coming in from Tindergus. Look at that. They're doing a ritual.
Let's see if that ritual can get them the win as they're back onto the defense. Maybe that ritual can help them get a full hold. Actually, Fear of God now swaps the Widow, maybe try to scout a bit, catch out anyone that's out of position, but everyone knows his old trick and everyone just hiding from the sidelines. Fear of God staying on the Widow, He wants to catch anyone that's out of the sidelines. As they do the same thing that happened in the first attack, they go through Hotel, split them off with the Void, Aftershock just trapped. Managed to get back to his team. Weird charge right now, but Shermaine with another charge catches him so low as the immortality is forced out from Wise Cres on DPS.
Charmaine somehow managing to live out of that situation right there. We'll see if Tinder God Slayer is able to retouch here. Junkrat though managed to pick off Fear of God, and wow, just the front line is just taking so much abuse. But Wise Cres on DPS, they managed to cap the point. Tinder God Slayer just let them.
Even with the pressure from Fear of God down, Wise Cres on DPS still able to stabilize, and Fear of God swaps to the Echo. But Echo against a Hanzo and a McCree, it'll be hard, but let's see how he makes it work.
I mean, Fear of God makes anything possible as shown
He has no
from
fear,
previous
you could say.
games.
He has no
He
fear.
has no fear. Grab already coming in from Ampha, so does the Window. Window Fire Strike, maybe? Oh,
nice combo there.
Ampha getting both Lin and very good boy Junkrat though, somehow getting the pick onto Adrelis. And yeah, it seems that Wise Cres on DPS pushing the point with quite relative ease here.
But Tinder Gods they are building up to a lot of outs, 6 outs actually, and it's now getting to overtime, and a really good Graph Dragon combo can just clear the point away from Wise Cres on DPS. Up to Nebit, he has the defensive out, the only defensive out, maybe the immortality also. The wall comes out, Shatter catches one, but a Sound Barrier comes out to engage, and there's the Graph Dragon. But nice Sound Barrier along with Shermaine Shatter. But Aftershock, he gets more kills. And with the Nano coming out, he gets 3, just cleaving the rest of Wise Cres DPS. And this is where Tinder Gods they will take their stand on the second point of overtime. They defend successfully, and that is it.
Tinder God Slayer just having way too many ults to overwhelm Wise Cres on DPS. Charmaine did have the Shatter for that fight, and I believe that Adrelis had Nabbit had the beat and Claire with the Blizzard, but yeah, Tinder God Slayer just pop all of their ults, and there's nothing you can really do about it when the enemy just pops 6 ults. Is my audio cut? Why can't I hear RX's?
No, I'm not talking, I'm letting the viewers enjoy the map.
Ah, I see. Like you just suddenly stopped talking, so I got really nervous.
Hey man, sometimes like we casters we talk a lot and it's just us talking. Sometimes there should be some, like a nice silence would be good. Just enjoy the game music, especially when nothing's really happening.
Nah, I'm an attention seeker. I love it when I just love the attention. I love it when everyone's paying attention to what I have to say. So,
Well, who's seeking more attention is Fear of God, swapping to another hero he has not showed this tournament. That's the Reaper, which is more standard comp if you look at the composition that they're running. No more May Tracer, but they're defending, and because the Tinder Gods there has an attacker advantage, once they see this comp, they can swap to whatever they want. And Lin, he's hovering over the Pharah right now. Maybe he'll stay on it. Yeah, they see that comp. Nothing really much to contest this Pharah, and the Pharah Mercy comes out from Lin.
Tinder God Slayer should be able to just walk up to point with this Pharah Mercy comp here, unless Wise Cres on DPS decides to just hard commit on the front line. Tinder God Slayer should be able to push with relative ease. Huge anti coming in from Violet. Fear of God though already getting the pick on Junkrat. Rest comes in from reboots.
But look how low Wise Cres and DPS are. They're getting healed, but the pressure from Lin is getting too much. It's just hovering over the sky right now. They try to rotate in, but Lin comes down from above with the rockets. Already catches Claire. Fear of God gets a trade onto Junkrat, but look, Shermaine is so low right now. The main tank of Wise Cres and DPS is so low right now, but managed to get healed up in time. Wise Cres and DPS managed to stabilize on the point with 2 return kills from Ampha. And Wise Cres and DPS actually does it with Ampha's 3 kills.
An interesting little flank there coming in from Wise Cres on DPS. They decided to walk through a hotel on the attacker side, and this made Tinder God Slayer be caught off guard and managed to actually sweep the front line there. But Adrelis with a window, he's in it to win it. Charmaine with the shatter.
Can get it. Oh!
Oh,
How did it
fire!
happen? A Nano with a double fire strike kill along the shatter onto 2, another charge kill, and Aftershock turns that fire around in a split second, and there's nothing Wise Cres on DPS can react to that as just an insta kill from the fire strike catches 2 as that was secure. Tinder got there the point.
Aftershock just showing him the pure dominance of his Reinhardt. His fire strike killed both the supports, and Wise Crest on DPS just couldn't do anything about it. But Wise Crest on DPS already coming up onto 2 core ults, being the Shatter and the Grav, and we'll see what happens on the very coming fight here. Tinder God Slayer with a barrage, and yeah, it really is. This fight isn't really decided, it seems.
Claire realizes the problem that is the Pharah swaps over to the McCree to counter swap as the amplification matrix comes out. Adriel is paired out with a fire strike. Charmaine catches 2.
Charmaine?
This is it. This is the last fight. Wise is on DPS are just getting all the kills right now, and it seems like they'll be tying up the series on King's Row and it'll be 1-1 heading into halftime.
Oh my god, that was a very, very entertaining brawl fight there to watch. I'm on the edge of my seat watching this, and huge plays just coming in from both the tanks, both the DPSs, the supports, just everything. That was an all-rounder game. Just so exciting to watch what's going on the Pacific Community Tournament right here.
Well, you know what, James? Because Wise Crest and DPS secure map, my prediction is already wrong because I predicted TGS to take it 3-0. So,
hey man, you see, this is why I don't say maps. This is why I don't say maps, because, you know, you never know what's gonna happen. It's Overwatch, baby.
Yeah, but both teams counter swapping a lot. Lin on the Pharah, looking to counter the May Reaper Brawl, but when they lost the point, Claire swaps to he sees the problem, he swaps to the McCree. The hit scan that will counter the Pharah, and with a nice application matrix to pressure out the Pharah, Charmaine is able to land the Fire Strike and get the Shatter to finish the map. And right now it is halftime, 1-1, close game. Stick around, we'll be heading to a short break. We'll be heading to a short break shortly, and when we're back, our desk will break down the game. See ya.
All right, full. So first two maps is ended, and well, it's pretty much a brawl between these two teams, and it was like, oh my god, it was so close and all. Like, the predictions, I don't know, but well, let me just ask these two analyzers to join with me, Akame and Oputos here. All right, so what do y'all think here after the Busan and Kings Row ended? Like, what do you think? Is it like going in your way, or is it not? Or is there anything you want to say? What's your prediction correct?
I think it is going what I expected, to be honest.
True.
Yeah.
I thought like Kings were gonna be Tinder God Slayer map, but yeah, I love how like why is Chess on DPS they prep for Tinder God in Kings Row. Like they know Tinder God is not playing Lucio at all. That's what I don't like for them. Like it's the worst part of the team right now, because they got punished by Mei a lot because Reinhardt stuck in Mei wall and they don't have speed to like get off of the punish.
Yeah. You can see from like when Tinder God is defending in King's Row, you can see how far they backed off in respect of Wise Cres of DPS Mei player. You can just see like they're just giving up 2 ticks before re-engaging just to stabilize first, even without using any ults. And the Mei is just like giving them so much pressure. I think it's a wise pick from Wise Cres on DPS.
Yeah. In Busan, I think Tinder God Slayer almost lost the map because of I feel like that DPS overextended a lot, so many times, and got punished by Lightning Ball, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's it's a little bit off the predictions here, but well, there's the 2 maps left here. So well, it's 2 maps that ended. So is there any player that surprised you? Like, is there any player that just outplay you, or like something like? What do you think? Start out with Akame.
Definitely Shamin, like making me impressed a lot. Like eating 2 grass from Very Good Boy in Busan, and having so much huge shatters in King's Row against Tinder God Slayer, allowing his team to win the fight. Even though it's an unfortunate loss on Busan, but he is really performing well in this match so far. So yeah, he's really like impressing me.
Yeah, Shaman is popping off today. I'm agree. Like this guy is gonna be carrying the team a lot today. I think they can win the match. Yeah, because of him.
Right. So, well, there's a more surprise coming up here. So, all right. So before we go back to matches here, I would like to ask you. So, what is your prediction say for like the rest of 2 maps here? Like you know how Tinder Godslayer and White Skirts and TPS doing on the first 2. So, what do you think? Start off with Oputo.
I think if like why is Chess on DPS, they still keep playing the same tempo, same speed, they're gonna win this match for sure. But if Tinder God Slayer know what is their problem and fix it, they still win. They favorite in this match. They still.
All right. So, what about you, Akame? What do you think is likely to happen in these next 2 maps?
I think it's gonna be map dependent, and depending on what comms they're running. I think Wise Cres on DPS, they're definitely doing the right thing. They're on the right track, countering what the Tinder Slayer is like doing. And I think if Tinder God Slayer don't fix their problems, I think that Wise Cres on DPS have a really high chance on really winning them, and showing them who's the better team.
All right. So, well, anything can happen here. Well, all right. So, all right. So before we get into the match here, there's is there anything you want to say to like between these two teams? What do you think? What do you think about these two teams? Like, who would like do better in in this play? Who's will likely to win?
For me, I feel like right now, YHS on DPS, they play a lot better. If Tinder got Slayer don't do anything, yeah, they lost the second map because their own problem, and the first map they almost lost because they make a lot of mistake. If they're still doing that, like keep doing mistake so many times, like past two maps, they're gonna lose to YHS on DPS.
I think it's all comes down to whether Tinder God Slayer can realize their mistakes in the past 2 maps, really talk about it as a team, and just play better as a team. And I think why is Cres on DPS, they're just doing like really good, and I think they keep it up or even perform better, I think they can definitely win against Tinder God Slayer.
All right, so well, both team, especially Vice Cres and DPS, they are coming on toe with to the God Slayer here. All right, so before we go on for a break here, let's not forget it for y'all that watching here at home right now. If you guys want to contribute to the donation pool, you can click the donation picture on Twitch to contribute to the donation pool down below, and 100% of proceeds will be used to fund the donation pool of our next charity events or tournament. And reward tiers announced soon in this Twitch community. So, well, if you guys interested in donations, well, just click the link down below here in the descriptions here. All right. So before we going back here on another matches, all right. So we're going to take a break here, and we will see you guys later in this next match.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the PACommunity Tournament Beta Semifinals. We're in game 1 right now and it's a 1-1 tie with Wise Cres on DPS and Tinder Godslayer. And Wise Cres on DPS winning their map choice on King's Row, which means Tinder Godslayer, the losing team, will be picking the next map. However, I'll take this time to take a quick shout out to Me Machine, or known as Easy Clap, because he donated a solid $1 to our donation pool. And you too can donate, because 100% of proceeds will be used to fund the next donation pool of our next event. And we'll be having some interesting reward here, so stay tuned, and for a good cause, donate now. But let's get back to the game where we'll be going to the map pool.
And yeah, Tinder God Slayer not really putting up the performance that I expected them to on King's Row, but we'll see how things turn out on Watchpoint Gibraltar, a very sniper-oriented map and a very dive-oriented map as well. Watchpoint Gibraltar could open up opportunities for Tinder God Slayer here, since they are shown to run the double bubble, but Wise Cres on DPS also being known for running the Ball Diva composition.
So which do you think is better on Gibraltar, the Winston or the Ball? Personally, I would favor the Winston, because Watchpoint Gibraltar is literally Winston's home, and Winston has been for a long time really dominant on this map, and there's a lot of like high grounds he can utilize. Just drop down, get the bubble from the Zaya, then place down his own bubble, and then jump back up. And that's how double composition works. So what do you think will be favored in this map, James?
I think Winston, because it's Winston. You gotta love Winston. His kit is just so fun, and also there's not a lot of angles for Ball to play around on Gibraltar, since it's a very zigzaggy map with a lot of high grounds. So I would think that Monkey is actually a more viable comp. Shout out to Aming, my homie.
Dude, that's the second time we did that today. Stop saying that. Yeah, and heading to Watchpoint Gibraltar, tied 1-1, still anyone's game. Let's see if Tinder Godslayer can win on their map choice, because so far each team has been winning on their map choice, and let's see if we can continue that tradition. And actually, if we keep doing this, we might actually go to a map 5.
And yeah, I gotta say, I'm really surprised at Wise Cres on DPS performance today.
Yeah,
they're just playing way more. Yeah, they're just playing way better compared to last week, man. I gotta say, they've been really listening to what their coach has to say. They've just been coordinating, and yeah, they're nutty and they're popping off.
no, I've been hanging around some teams asking for their opinions, and actually some teams actually say Wise Cres on DPS is actually like playing a 5v6, because Cres, his DPS is not really up to par, because a lot of teams say he's the weakling, and Cres right now is just proving to everyone that he isn't the liability here, and he still has a lot to show on the DPS, because Claire actually is a support player, and because of how the tournament works, he's now thrust onto the DPS, and yeah, showing that he's not a liability, proving doubt into the name of.
Alright, enough predictions for now. Let's get right into the action. We'll be able to see what is gonna be happening up in this map here. Watchpoint Gibraltar, a very beautiful map, as you can see. Let's just admire the map real quick. Oh yeah. Now this is Overwatch.
So, do you know that Singapore, back in the days, was known as the Gibraltar of the East because of how well fortified it was? That's a fun Southeast Asia fact.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
A history student.
However, this Watchpoint Gibraltar is the actual one, not the fake one. Yeah, and it's actually Winston's home in the Overwatch lore storyline.
I remember the first time I've ever played Overwatch, I like, the Winston's announcement. It kind of made me tear up a little because of how cool it was,
I'm pretty sure I just skipped that.
No, okay. Well, I mean, you're a very emotionless person because you're so cold-blooded. But yeah, unlike you, I like to pay attention to the story. Tinder Godslayer opting out for double bubble.
Tinder Godslayer was hovering on the Genji for a moment. I really wanted to see the Genji today, but Junkrat doesn't want to let us see that as he swaps to a more consistent damage dealer in this meta, the Tracer. And once again, while we're saying another playstyle different, the Ball versus the Winston, the Diva versus the Zarya. And let's see what happens as the fight for the blue box happens right now as Aftershock trying to get up, claim some of the high ground advantage.
Ampha playing a very peely style for his team here. Fear of God already gets Junkrat. And yeah, Aftershock just gets slept, unfortunate. And wow, Fear of God just is able to rain terror from up above with just no... the map has only just started, Fear of God. You don't have to show us what you're capable of.
He got like 3 Helix rocket kills, and nice one. And Junkrat, seeing that he wants to go for more burst potential, more cleanup potential, goes over to the Genji. But I've been really excited to see this tournament. Haven't really casted some Nano Blade in quite some time. Aftershock already gets burst down from Charmaine, however.
That is just tragic. Aftershock just face tanking every single Echo's ball right there and just goes back into spawn.
And because of how well Fear of God did in the first fight with his 3 Helix rocket kills, he already has his tactical visor, and Nabit has his respective nano boost. A really deadly combo here, especially with the vulnerable line of maybe of Aftershock and Junkrat onto the Genji. Aftershock trying the same old strategy, hops up with his bubble, taking advantage of the high ground, tries to claim it, forcing out Fear of God and Nabit, but the nano boost comes out. Goes down to Adrianus. That's pretty weird. Was that a misclick? But doesn't matter misclick or not, because Wise Cres and DPS are still on advantage as Charmaine takes down Aftershock.
Wise Cres on DPS playing a really peel style for their DPS. They're not engaging onto Tinder God Slayer, which being the smarter pick because of reboots being on the Brig on Tinder God Slayer, and Aftershock just... Oh, I'm so sad to see a monkey dying over and over again. It's giving me PTSD from 2008.
Aftershock has not been having so much fun this map. He keeps trying to jump out, claim the high ground, but he keeps getting bursted down fight after fight. But he has the Primal Rage now to give him more sustainability, and Junkrat has the Nano Blade in his own hands, and it's up to him to clutch it out for his team.
But the Nano Blade though, I'm not sure if it's gonna get that many people because
let's see.
As you can see, Claire and Adrelis being on that Echo Mercy, they're just able to kite the blade, no problem. It really depends on how they play here. And Nano Blade already coming out. Oh, he missed the Nano! So tragic! Popping the visor!
That's so unfortunate! Aftershock just leaping into the Nano Boost side, and Junkrat dashes up thinking he has a Nano, but instead gets an anti to his face and gets bursted down by the tactical visor from Fear of God. And that's the misplay from the side of Tinder God Slayer. But they're trying to stabilize, making the most of what's happening as Reboot gets a kill onto Claire's Echo. And somehow, now that they're turning this fight around, as Aftershock gets a kill onto Claire.
You can see Aftershock just trying his best to just not get bursted down. And yeah, I think Tinder God Slayer... Ooh, Nanobu's coming onto Charmaine. Not really gonna do much here but contest the cart. Lin does take down Adrelis, and just the struggles of the remaining members of Wise Cres on DPS being absolutely just futile.
Was that a solo grab I saw onto Claire's Tracer from
I think it is. I think that alright, I'm not gonna think that that's any form of BM, but you know, we're just gonna pretend that was a misclick.
Hey, our tournament allows teabagging, so if we allow teabagging, I don't think that's anything too wrong. But right now, Claire teams just trying to vie for control on the top of the spaceship, and Fear of God gets a kill onto Junkrat, and Charmaine gets another kill with his Diva Bomb onto Violet, and Tinder God Slayer just forced to retreat.
Charmaine just doing a Xenobomb right there through the little crevice of the ship up top, does catch Violet, the unsuspecting individual, with a bomb here.
Well, you know what? They say, if you don't succeed, try again, and Tinder God Slayer, they have another Nano Blade. Let's see if they can execute it.
Let's see if it hits.
Yeah, let's see if it hits. There it is,
Oh,
the Nano Blade comes out,
Nano
nice!
Blade!
Nano actually connects and he gets Fear of God, looking for another person to slash through, but nothing much. He sees the ball, slashes, the Blade comes out, but he still has the Nano on him. Get the reboots, finish up the kill onto Empha, and Tinder Godslayer with the 1 kill secured, but the Nano Blade managed to push through.
Very unfortunate circumstances for Wise Cres on DPS here. They just keep getting staggered on and on. They can't take a full fight without regrouping properly. Aftershock popping the primal. Ampha just trying to struggle onto point, but seems that his efforts weren't that yeah, impactful, I guess. Nabbit suicides just to regroup with his team, and Wise Cres on DPS really just in a tough cookie right here.
They see the success that Tinder Godslayer has been doing on the double bubble and decide, hey, if you can play it too, we can too, and they're going to be mirroring the double bubble, but they have a different DPS line, the Echo and the Ash, and Atrialis is not on the brick to peel, but the Nano comes out and find the Nano Monkey, the backline is really deadly, but the Tinder Godslayer managed to peel off Empha right now, and Empha doesn't get much done.
The two
The
Winstons
copy
here
comes
just
up
getting
with
bounced around like a ping pong ball, even with the Nano. Claire does get the copy on Zarya. He needs to build that grab fast if he wants to win.
Oh, Charmaine!
But Charmaine!
The actual Zarya gets 2, and Lin gets 2 onto his High Noon, and Fear of God catches also 2 with, and because of Fear of God's picks and cleanup, Wise Cres and DPS managed to stabilize despite Lin's heroics, and Lin swaps to the Ash, wants to mirror, wants to contest Fear of God on the hit scan battle.
And this is such a good map for Fear of God just to play Ashe, because the high ground is the staple of Gibraltar on especially this last point here. And if Aftershock is not able to dive Fear of God away from the high ground and just keep getting bursted down, Tinder Godslayer is gonna be in a tough pickle here. And the Ampha taking substantial damage before making it out. Rally comes in from reboots, and Tinder Godslayer ready for another Nano Blade here.
But before that, they can even do that, Fear of God gets the pick on Lin, and because there are only 30 seconds left, Tinder Godslayer want to stabilize, but there it is! The Nano Blade comes down, the Graph tries to protect him, but he missed. Oh, he didn't miss! And Junkrat is in the Graph right now, but they don't manage to secure the kill, and Aftershock catches the kill on Claire.
Very, very smart move from Charmaine right there, saving the grab for the Nano Blade, but this also means that Tinder Godslayer is gonna have a lot of members remaining, and Lin takes down Ampha, reboots, takes down Nabbit. Oh no, that body block was disgusting. Charmaine with the getting solo grab.
I mean, he wasn't actually body blocked that much, he was like kind of caught on the pillar, but Tinder Godslayer managed to cap Watchpoint Gibraltar's all 3 points in 0 seconds.
That Granny struggling was just so heart-crushing to see, and it was also very funny, but yeah.
Her eyes are getting old, you know, can't really see what's in front of her and just walks into the wall. I mean, there's a wall on one side and a monkey on another, so don't know what you choose.
I'd choose the monkey. I think monkeys are very nice creatures and they'll embrace you. Oh my god, my voice is cracking.
I thought you were gonna mention Aming again.
Should I? you guys want to know more about Aming?
I mean, I'd rather not, because I don't think that's what we're here for. Maybe there's a story for another day.
Yeah, but both teams running Monkey Zarya last fight, and oh, there's actually a lighthouse over there in the distance, it seems. I never actually noticed that. But yeah, both the teams just bursting down the monkeys as fast as they can, and nothing really exciting is going on from the tank line side. It's really about the DPS here, and hopefully Wise Cres on DPS is able to provide with the insane DPS lineup of Claire and Fear of God. By that I mean Fear of God. Alright, we'll
So right now both teams just playing a stalemate, just seeing what the other is running, just scouting it out. at the moment. Hookshot comes out, Fear of God, however he catches nothing, and the Tracer is coming in for Fear of God's life. But Junkrat doesn't really get much done as Aftershock retreats back to his team.
Alright, nothing really exciting going on around here. Just no kills, and yeah, it's just a standoff. And it seems that the action is gonna happen very soon. Ampha goes in, he hits a huge slam, and Claire finishing off Lin from Ampha's setup right there. Very good boy though. Manages to get Adrelis in the midst, and Aftershock, Fear of God, very good boy, gets Ampha. Nabbit does take out Junkrat.
That's the cleanup coming in for Tinder Godslayer. Claire on the back line just staggering himself. But hey, he catches the pick with his focusing being onto Aftershock. There might have been a mistake from the start of Aftershock as he opens up the opportunity for Cres and DPS to push in.
What an interesting choice coming in from the support line of Cres on DPS. They're seen playing the Brig instead of the Mercy to try and pocket their Echo. Instead of pocketing their Echo, I mean.
That's maybe because they want to go for a more defensive approach, peel off Aftershock, and Aftershock has the Nano right now, but he gets anti, he gets slapped. That's the CC, that's the classic main tank experience, but regardless, his own team manages to help him out as he catches 2 on the side of Cres on DPS.
Man,
And
Ampha... Ooh, both main tanks down from both sides of the teams, and it's really just a struggle here from both sides. Junkrat with a Pulse Bomb, and very good boy with a grab. They're looking for a suitable angle to try and use their ults here. And grab comes in from Charmaine, it seems, from across the map.
Comes out too, zoning all of them now with a huge anti, courtesy of Nabbit and Fear of God with the cleanup.
Man, a lot of ults being used from the side of Cres on DPS. With Nabbit on the Nano and Fear of God on the High Noon, maybe they might be able to win the next fight, but I don't think that that's gonna be possible with Very Good Boy and Junkrat on their ults. And yeah, just unless Very Good Boy whiffs his grab, then not gonna be able to do anything about that. So
A Very Good Boy can try to single out the back line with a Pulse Bomb combo, but they don't even need that because Lin already gets a kill, a nice headshot onto Claire. Stuns out, comes out, Ampha manages to escape with his shield, and Fear of God zones all of Tinder Godslayer away from the high ground with his High Noon. Doesn't manage to catch anyone, however, but he stalls it up for time. And the grab comes out. Where's the Pulse Bomb? He blinks in, stucks 1, and that's 2! And with the side of Lin's High Noon, they get 3, and half the team of Cres on DPS falls to Tinder Godslayer's DPS.
that was a massive grab coming in from Very Good Boy. He actually made a very good decision to stay up on the high ground just to see where all of the members on Cres on DPS were just grouping up nicely. And they even used a rally there, and Very Good Boy, just look at that, that's a beautiful grab pulse combo.
Yeah, just standard graph pulse combo, nothing new in Overwatch, but certainly still works. Seems like they just stabilizing right now. Fear of God is so low, discarded as the Nano comes out from Aftershock again as the discard onto the brink of Adrialis is so low, so anti. But counter graph from Charmaine with Fear of God catches Lin, and there's a nice sticky from Claire, catches 2 with the 1 right click alongside the help of Nano.
Oh my, Claire's performance in this game has been nothing short of exceptional here. Even though people have been memeing about his DPS, I personally think that his Echo is actually up to standards with the rest of his teammates. But Lin, coming in with the High Noon here, does take down Claire's duplicate. Very Good Boy, already an early pick onto Fear of God. Both the DPS members of Cres on DPS just goes down. Oh no, a C9! Ampha forces out a C9, which allows them to cap, and oh my. Tinder Godslayer, Aftershock actually did use his Primal Rage to try and knock away Cres on DPS's members, but I mean, it doesn't mean anything when they just cap the point. That's just how it is.
Okay, Ampha was zoning there now, so maybe not really a C9. Maybe you could say like a bit forced C9. And Fear
No,
of God.
it's a C9. It's funnier to say that it's a C9.
Funny, but
It's a C9. It's a C9.
Okay, but regardless, there's a Widow duo going on right now. Both Fear of God and Lin swapping to the Widow on the third point. Where it's up to who can utilize the high ground to their advantage to pick off the enemy sniper.
Ooh,
Lin does it.
Lin.
Lin does it again!
2 nice
Lin does it again.
headshots. 3 picks coming in from Lin here. Really showing his dominance over who is the better hit scan against Fear of God. And he just single-handedly carried that fight, man.
2 headshots, 1 body shot, gets 3 finishing kills, and that's enough to just turn the fight around for Tinder Godslayer, which are stabilizing right on the defensive to miss left and reboots. Nice right click volley, dings on the side of Fear of God, and they're back to the retreat.
Fear of God, not really having a good game over here. He's just been getting picked even near his spawn area, and the members of Cres on DPS, it really needs to rely on him to do anything. Fear of God,
Could be wrong. He gets the
he
pick up
heard
and
me.
win.
And Adrelis pushing in with the rally. Wow, he's playing Reinhardt. Look at him go. Fear of God already a pick on the very good boy. Wow, he's just okay.
Adriel is just running out down mid with his rally, but it works for them because the rest of the team managed to follow up. Fear of God has an infra sight. He can see anyone coming out of spawn, anyone that comes out of spawn, he can just click his head. A grab comes off a very good ball. He's so low. Nothing much he can do because Charmaine has a grab to lock down the enemy spawn, and that's it. Cres on DPS will be capturing Watchpoint Gibraltar with a time bank advantage of 1 minute.
Fear of God, he opened the Sharon gun and he just decided, man, I'm done being the beta. Let me show him how to play Widow. And he just gets that pick right there.
I mean, to be fair, all his kills in the last fight were body shots, so not really that impressive.
Hey man. It's still kills, alright? You know, in CS:GO, if you use the op, you can body shot kill people, so it's fine. Alright, anyway, back to the game. Fear of God right there, getting a crucial pick onto Lin, which allowed him to just dictate the high ground, and that just really allowed Cres on DPS just to push through without fearing the remaining members of Tinder Godslayer.
Why is Cres on DPS? They're doing a Bastion strat again, and look where they're hiding!
Wait, I've never this is quite inspirational. Look at that.
This tournament, the secret pocket strat they pulled out.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. That was my
You're
dinner.
excited, haven't you?
I've never seen a Bastion comp be held here. Maybe in server room, but not here, like ever.
I wonder what will be Tinder Godslayer's reaction when they see this. Aftershock does not know he thinks they're on the high ground, jumps up. They don't know. They still don't know. Maybe Junkrat will know. Oh, he sees it! It's like, wait, what? What is this?
Oh no.
Aftershock just waves hello.
How are they gonna dive? How are they gonna dive 6 people
Honestly,
at the
it's
same
very
time?
cool because all of them are in such a small area.
Oh no! They're not gonna be able to
Pushing
contest it! No! Oh,
They're
Fear
just
of God though.
They're just pushing past, and the anti-nade managed to help them get a kill onto Claire, and they're literally just pushing past the payload. A nice 3-man anti on the side of Violet. They need to contest. Why is Cres and DPS are not contesting? They are just letting Tinder Godslayer push the cut for free. Finally, they do something, and Charmaine gets a nice kill onto Junkrat along with Claire. Claire catches 2 on the side of Reboots, and Lin and Fear of God just spamming down the Junkrat onto the sideline and catches both the enemy tanks. And despite them maybe letting the payload get more distance than they wanted to, they managed to defend and full hold on their overtime defense.
I mean, that is quite interesting. Tinder Godslayer saw Cres on DPS's strat, and it was just so absurd that they couldn't comprehend what to do against it.
Honestly, props to Tinder Godslayer because at that point they didn't like get too nervous or anything. A lot of teams just rush in, they just die. But Tinder Godslayer knew how to play. They played a bit slow, hide from the angles that the Bastion can kill from, and they pushed the payload to 75.2 meters. And if they can manage to defend well here, because there's no more Bastion shenanigans to the side of Wisecrown DPS, if they can full hold, they can win this. They can still win this map. It's still very doable for Tinder God Slayer.
Oh, it seems that Junkrat is pulling out his signature hero,
Oh,
Junkrat.
he had it. He had enough. He said, if you can play this stupid Bastion spam, I'm gonna pull out my signature hero, the name of my account, Junkrat. And yeah, they had
I'm actually quite interested to see how this would go because, as shown from the comp, Claire was actually picking Echo. I think they're gonna TP and swap. Maybe not actually. Wow,
I think
they're
gonna
running
TP
to
the high ground.
They're opting to run the Rhine Zarya in this map.
No. I think they're gonna TP to the high ground, just brute force their way, just take control of the high ground. That's it. The TP comes out, but they have to spam from Junkrat. He's just spamming down from the angles. Tinder Gods there, they see backing off a little, but Aftershock still wants the high ground. That's a nice anti, but nothing much can be capitalized. Shemaine stuck onto the trap, but he managed to back off before he dies.
Actually, the previous comp that Wisecrest on DPS was opting for would have actually been able to let them push a bit more clean, I suppose. But yeah, Claire making the swap over to Echo, and yeah, Junkrat. Just everyone is just so nicely lined up for Junkrat to build his tire off of, which he already has 90%.
Yeah, he's 10% off it right now. He'll get it soon, but before that, Enfa catches the kill onto Lin. Aftershock, he has the primal rage, just displacing all of them away from the high ground, but he's already bursted down to so low, and he might just die here. Junkrat, 2% off the Riptire. He needs to do it now. It's now or never for Junkrat's Riptire. Aftershock goes in, makes some space. Stabilizing right now, he drops it from the high ground. Dude, that's an immortality right there. What can he do with it? He catches nothing!
Oh no! That was just so sad to see. Adrel is just shot down. Junkrat's Riptire, and Window comes in from reboots, but that's only just gonna stall Wisecrest on DPS for so long.
Up to each team's graph right now. Enfa has his very good boy. It's their only out right now, but Enfa is so high energy, just rushing down the high ground. Junkrat forced to back down again. Just the sound barrier goes out.
Sound barrier coming in. Both the Zaryas just beaming each other down. They know that they have the grabs and they do use them, but it seems that Ampha is the one that came out victorious here. Wisecrest on DPS coming out 2-1 towards against Tinder God Slayer. This actually is the complete opposite of what we expected tonight.
Yeah, a lot of us were predicting that Tinder God Slayer will have the heavy advantage going to this game, but Wisecrest on DPS, they showed us that they have some secret strategies they can pull out too, and that Bastion defense was really weird. Well, it didn't work out all that well, but it was enough to manage to catch them the win.
I mean, if a strat is ridiculous, it doesn't mean that it's bad. So, and Wisecrest on DPS did their best to prove that point.
I mean, people thought Goats was a ridiculous comp, but it became meta for a year, but that comp would definitely not be meta.
I mean, it was during the double sniper era where like everything was just all about snipers and popping off and just like, oh my god, you're bringing 3 tanks into a fight? There's no way that that's gonna work, but it worked, and it was meta for a year. It made so many people hate the game. So
I mean, a lot of people are actually reminiscing Goats right now.
yeah,
So-
same here. All the support mains and all the tank mains loved goats, but you can't have something for too long. Everyone will just get tired of it, you know?
Yeah, 2 people that definitely would hate that meta would be Lin and Fear of God. Just up on the higher ground, sniping down each other. There's a hit scan battle in this match is really interesting to watch. Both sides have their pop-off moments, but I think Lin is actually bringing a more consistent hit scan to the side of Tinder God Slayer.
But the tanks of Wisecrest on DPS, I think they are actually doing a better job than Tinder God Slayer. I guess Wisecrest on DPS really worked on their coordination during this week-long break that they had, since they're coming against such a formidable opponent like Tinder God Slayer. And yeah, I think their efforts are really paying off here, as shown from the games that we've been having.
Yeah, actually, from what I heard from Cres, a lot of the team members of Cres on DPS actually had exams this week, so they couldn't really find the time to practice. But they had, I think, they had one practice scrim yesterday, and I think that really worked well for them as they're able to formulate these weird, wacky strategies, and these are the strategies that will push them through to the win because Tinder Gods they are not expecting them at all. And right now it's up 2-1. Cres on DPS, I'm at match point right now. And looking at the map pool, the next map will be on Assault. And 2CP is a game mode we have not seen this tournament because all the matches so far has been first to 2. So we have not seen any 2CP. It's going to be a brand new experience for this tournament and we're heading to Temple of Anubis.
I think I might get an idea of why Tinder God Slayer chose this map. I think they actually are willing. They are looking to run the Junkrat here due to Temple of Anubis having so many choke points that a Junkrat could utilize to play. But we'll see how it pans out here because Wisecrest on DPS is. I think they might run the Ball Diva here. So if that just runs through the Junkrat comp, it could also mean that Wisecrest on DPS does take this map. But enough talking for now. We're gonna be seeing some absolute raw power in these games. And yeah, Temple of Anubis it is.
Match point right now for Wisecrest on DPS up 2-1, proving all the analysts' expectations wrong. And Tinder Gods there will be starting on the attack, so I don't think we'll be seeing some Junkrat anytime soon.
Indeed. Ooh, Reaper McCree composition coming in from Tinder God Slayer along with a Ball Zarya and a Lucio Bab. Quite an interesting composition here. These, yeah, I don't really understand why they're running this because they don't really correlate well with each other. However, Wisecrest on DPS running quite a similar comp, but for the tank line, but Fear of God on the Tracer, Claire on the Echo, Adrelis on the Brig, and Nabbit on the Ana.
Tinder God Slayer are hovering over the ball, and this will be the first time we see Aftershock on the... Oh, never mind, he swaps to the Winston. He's... yeah, nothing new there.
Let's go! Aming!
But what's weird, they're running the Lucio Bat, which... normally they run this with Ryan, but Aftershock is playing Winston and I think that's his comfort pick because he's just been locking the Winston this whole game and it's somewhat working well for them, but they are at a disadvantage here, so they need to throw something as Wisecrest and DPS and they need to play it well.
Tinder God Slayer really needs to bank on jumping the supports since they're the most vulnerable.
Aftershock is so low right now, he's already half HP and he dives in. That's the mines, the focusing beam onto Aftershock is not enough for him to leave as he falls to Claire. Fear of God just on the low ground right now, helping out his support as they're just stabilizing the point, and that will be enough to win them the fight.
Claire just absolutely deleting the Winston every time he jumps. I think that maybe if Very Good Boys saved the bubble for when Aftershock gets stickied, he would have the better opportunity to staying alive in most of the times. But enough of predictions for now. Ampha going in with the slam. And doesn't really seem to find much value over there. Oh, huge anti-nade coming in from Nabbit. Immortality already coming out so early into the fight. And, wow, window.
And they're so low, they can't do anything. Fear of God and the side of DPS from the Wisecrest on DPS are just cleaning out with a nice anti from Nabbit to help them. And Tinder Gods, there are 3 of them, 4 of them just stuck in this room right now. And finally catch Ampha out. And maybe there's time for them to turn. But Nabbit, he does not want that to happen. 2 grenades, 1 pulse bomb, and that's enough for Wisecrest on DPS to clean up.
Wow, just Tinder God Slayer wants to play on a very sort of tight manner where that they could spill out onto the members of Wisecrest on DPS, but that buffer time right there is just gonna allow Nabbit to just land a huge anti every single time. And they're going there again! Oh no!
Charmaine has the grab, he can catch them out, but they're forcing the high ground. Nice, forces out the projected bubble from Charmaine. Nice high noon. Trying to protect an Aftershock, already gets killed, and that's a huge high noon. 2 kills, and that'll be enough to secure them the point. Eva comes in the mines, tries to zone out, tries to get something done. nothing really much he can do, but Adrialis gets a kill on the lane. Maybe he can turn this around, but the numbers advantage is just too much for Wise Cres on DPS to handle, and that will be it, as Tinder God Slayer will be taking point 1.
Tinder God Slayer just overwhelming Wisecrest on DPS before they were able to use their ults there. Yeah, Charmaine actually had the grab here that could have saved the game, but
this had a high
Hynun
note.
coming in from Junkrat just takes out 2 core members
But
of
it's good Charmaine.
Wisecrest on DPS.
But it's good Charmaine holds on to the grab because he can now stop the snowball coming inside the side of rush of Tinder God Slayer. But Lane has something to say about that because he's just utilizing all the outs they have kept from point 1, and the Death Blossom coupled with a projector bubble is enough to open the fight for Tinder God Slayer, and they're just rushing to the point right now. Wise Cres on DPS are at such a numbers deficit right now, and there's nothing much they can do.
Yeah, Wisecrest on DPS were just overwhelmed by the double bubble comp that Tinder God Slayer was running. And this is just a struggle. Duplication coming in from Claire, but the grab
Last
comes in
ditch
from
attempt.
very good boy. Oh no.
Last ditch attempts coming up from Wise Cres on DPS, but they might turn it around. They dive onto Junkrat, clean him up. Claire is on the monkey. Primeling, just getting the displacement done. And the Alpha builds up another minefield. And Claire, after getting out of duplicate form, catches the kill on very good boy with Phil of God cleaning up on the Tracer, and somehow or another, Tinder got there. They have 99.9%, but they still fall at the very last moment, couldn't secure the kills in time, and Wise Cres stabilized at the very last moment, and this might just be the pivotal point of their defense.
God, you know, sometimes you just gotta love 2CP, man. This is the beauty of 2CP. You will never get
Look at that. Triangle
much
3 at the
torture.
top.
Oh no, Lin. He tried to pull a solo dive, but Adrelis does take him down. Fear of God as well takes down Reboots, and this is just a cleanup coming in from Wisecrest on DPS. Wisecrest on DPS, actually, oh wow, that's actually 99.9%. The stream is a bit laggy, so I can't really see the numbers, but that is actually 99.9%. Oh my God,
Don't
that's
trust
so
me
sad.
with my numbers. Overshake.
I'm sorry, you're Singaporean blood.
Slam comes in from Alpha looking to engage, but Lin has his own engagement too. He pops the Death Blossom. Claire beams him down, but it might be too late because there are just 2 members alive from Wise Cres on DPS. Make that 1, make that 0, and with the cleanup, Tinder God Slayer caps Temple of Newbies both points with a time bank of 1 minute 42 seconds.
Aftershock just is able to bait the sleep dart from Nabbit every time, which allows the Reaper. I think it was who was the Reaper? Was it Lin or Junkrat?
Lin.
All right, which just allows Lin to just walk out with his Death Blossom just to clear out the healers on Wise Cres's on DPS's side. So Nabbit really had to save the sleep dart there, but unfortunately, Lin was just able to sweep. Just able to sweep them, yeah.
Tinder God Slayer. They don't want the match to end right here. They proved the stability, they proved their worth on the attack, but they need to prevent Wise Cres on DPS from setting a higher time bank on their own attack. And Wise Cres on DPS, they're going to their standard comp they've been playing this whole match. The Echo, the Tracer, and the Ball.
So an interesting thing that I found out about Tinder God Slayer is that they keep playing the Baptiste even though they're running the double bubble. Now, I, in my opinion, thought that Anna was just superior in double bubble comp due to her healing accuracy and her utility that provides for the monkey.
Yeah, and also a Nano Monkey can really open up the fight, but it seems like they're opting for a Baptiste, which seems it's sort of working right now for them. But now they need to prevent Wise Cres on DPS's attack on the dive.
Alright, Aftershock does not... Ooh, Lin already gets Claire. The Reaper shooting down the Echo. That you don't see that every day. And
Yeah, but
here comes the res.
Yeah, but Adrialis is there with the rest, and Alpha goes in trying to set up, do a nice rollout, and then it's already so low, forced to Ray Farm out. The
Immortality already comes in.
And Alpha just goes in, slams down the Lucio, reboot, sleeping. There's no heals, there's no main heals right now for Tinder Gods. Yes, reboots get anti. But regardless, very good boy. Managed to stabilize his team, catches a return kill onto Charmaine, and seems like down 2 right now. But Adrialis, he has to rest again. Already built up to another rest as he rests Charmaine back to the fight. And the fight is still ongoing right now for both sides. Still anyone's game.
Aftershock just continuously jumping the high ground just so that the members of Wise Crest on DPS just can't walk through, and Charmaine goes down again at such a crucial time. That is so unfortunate. Immortality already comes out onto onto Tinder Godslayer's side. Pulse Bomb already catching reboots. Nothing really decisive coming in from both the teams here. No team sweeps, no nothing, but it seems that the individual picks are just not allowing either of the teams to just commit onto anything here.
Yeah, sorry, my internet was cutting back a bit just now, but I'm back, and when I'm back, Fear of God, he catches the nano. He is wreaking havoc on the back line, but even though he does not get any kills, Ampha and Claire is there to back him up, cleaning up a very good ball. He has something to say about that, and he has to grab. Lin can activate his own Death Blossom, doesn't really catch anything. Ampha is here, the sound barrier pops out from Violet.
Oh no, all the mines are in the room. That is such an unfortunate placement of the mines. Primal Rage coming in from Aftershock does get Claire. Violet returns the favor by just killing Charmaine, and ooh, Widow. Some Widow action coming in from Fear of God here. He knows that since Tinder God Slayer does have the habit of just playing into point and not really holding the space out in the open, he just has the free advantage just to play Widow and maybe get a potential pick here. Oh no, he's going back to swap. Alright, well.
Yeah, stalemate right now, but Ampha goes in onto the engage alongside Claire's right click as Junkrat drops down with the tactical visor, but he's all alone. He drops down, Claire just catches him out as Claire copies onto the Winston, building up to his Primal Rage.
Did you see that? Okay, I'm not sure if I saw the thing properly, but Junkrat actually stood onto Charmaine's head while he was visoring.
Yeah, but Tinder Godslayer managed to get some return kill, especially with Aftershock now cleaning up both supports on the side of Cres on DPS's backline. At 30 seconds remaining right now, while Cres and DPS needs a miracle to happen right now. If not, they'll need to go to a map 5.
Indeed, time flew by so quickly in this map. From Wise Crest on DPS looking to full hold Tinder Godslayer on third point. They were just swept immediately, and very good boy and Lin with their ults. They're ready to hold this point into a full hold. Adrelis does pop the Valk. Overtime comes in. Very good boy with the high ground here. He goes in for the grab.
Fear of God catches the nano, but there's nothing he can do because he's stuck in the graph, and Lin Death Blossom onto 1, but that's already enough because very good boy is there to clean up as he catches 2. Aftershock, just a last dance with his Primal Rage, jumping around in celebration as Tinder Godslayer takes it to 2-2, and we're on tiebreaker.
Now that was quite unfortunate on Wise Crest on DPS's side. Not only did they lose the map and they're going into a tiebreaker of the 5th map, but that also I think that would have destroyed their morale of just dominating a team that they thought that they were gonna lose to. So yeah, I think that if they played a composition where they focused on just bursting down the monkey, I think that would have been the better choice. Now, RXs, I see you laughing, brother. What's so funny?
I just looked at your shirt again, I can't.
Okay. Alright, listen. We're not at like primary school here, alright? We're please be professional here.
Yeah, and the Godslayer managed to get the Temple Anubis with a dominating fashion, full holding Wise Cres on DPS, Wild Cres on DPS just stuck there, don't know what to do on their attack, and they got full health. And it's up to Wise Cres on DPS. They have the map pick, which means they have actually the advantage on the tiebreaker. And let's see whether they can turn their advantage into a win.
Also, I just realized my bed sheets is the same as Tinder God Slayer's team profile. Like, not my bed sheets, my blanket. Like, see this? Yeah, look at that.
But that's
That's
what's
the
that?
Totoro. That anime.
yeah, Totoro, yeah.
I actually never noticed up until now. Alright, now I'm gonna have to make the bet again later on. But yeah, I think that maybe if Flair looked at the monkey more often on the Tinder God Slayer side, I think that maybe they could have been, you know, maybe they would have won that fight. But yeah, I mean, it's Overwatch, man. What can you say? The 2
Yeah,
CP is just.
remember the last time we casted on group stage day 1, all the matches we casted were 2-0.
Mhm.
Not much fighting back and forth, but now on the semi-finals, the teams have upped their game. They are here to play, and tiebreaker on the 5th map. And both teams do not want to lose here because their tournament life is on the line. And the 5th map, we're going to Lijiang Tower. Thoughts on this
My-
map, James?
Alright, Lijiang Tower is my favorite map. If Lijiang Tower is not gonna be the map where Lucio is gonna be played, that has to be a meta where Lucio is a completely trash hero, and I think I want to see some Lucio action here, baby. Either that, they're gonna play. I'm guessing that both sides are gonna be playing their dives or their brawls. And that's why Lijiang Tower is picked for the last point.
I think
Also-
if the first map is Gardens, Cres on DPS will have a huge advantage because Ampha can just do things on the ball that the Winston can't really do, such as boop and stuff. But
I've actually been watching Ampha stream from time to time, and he's been practicing the ball rollouts in this map, man. He knows his stuff, and I bet his legs are just shaking. He can't wait to show him his talent. And enough talking for now. We'll be able to see some of that action ourselves in person. And last map coming in from the tourney here. Now, Arxis, what does that say? Do you know what that means?
it means
Do you know how to
dumpling.
read that? Oh, really?
Yeah,
I can only read the tzu.
it's dumpling.
All right.
Come on, bro. How do you not
And-
know that?
I failed Chinese. Like I'm not Chinese. Everyone thinks I'm Chinese, and I'm not Chinese.
Yeah, Korean.
Yeah.
I know what dumpling means in Korean though. It's like mandu, right?
Yeah, Mandu.
Yeah.
love it, yeah.
And actually speaking of Ampha's ball, I have also been practicing my ball tech. Recently I managed to learn how to do the wall slam.
Ooh. Ball tech is definitely the most
There's
in-depth
no
tech.
ball right now because both teams are playing the Reinhardt, and Fear of God looking to TP his team right to the point, just asserting point control from the start. But Tinder God Slayer, they see that they now need to play slow.
Wise Cres on DPS managing to get point control due to their TP, and they're not gonna let Tinder God Slayer walk in for free, for sure. And this is gonna be the place where they hold.
Yeah, but Adrialis' immortality is already forced, and that gives the opportunity for Tinder God Slayer to just rush in, and you can see that they're just playing it safe right now. Both teams, and Reboots already has his application matrix. He pops it, just doing down so much poke damage on Wise Cres on DPS. Shemaine already half health, he's stunned, he's so low! And Adrialis, he pops his own application matrix alongside the Symmetra shield to ward off the attackers. And Fear of God, he turns the fight around with his Symmetra wall as he gets the kill onto Violate.
Now that was such a clean fight coming in from Wise Cres on DPS here. They only committed 2 ults because they already had the point control, and this has just allowed their economy to just grow and grow and grow on their side. And yeah, I'm not sure if Tinder God Slayer is going to be able to push past this with Wise Cres on DPS just holding the point so adamantly here.
They certainly try, as Right now the pin comes out, Enfa so low, nice sound barrier from side of Tinder's Godsslayer to push the advantage, and there's a shatter that catch 3 from the side of Aftershock. And
Now
that's it.
that was a satisfying shatter coming in from Aftershock right there. He saw that little tiny gap behind the shield, and this just allowed him to just clean up the members of Wise Cres on DPS, even through their sound barrier there.
Overshot, you
Wait,
really
did
need
they
to
beat?
stop
Oh no, I didn't.
Every time you say something, the team just proves you wrong. And very good boy right now, he has the grab, but they just grab away, and because of that, Wise Cres on DPS managed to force the C9 and cap. And there's a huge shatter, there's 5 on the ground with the side. Fear of God just capitalized, beaming all of them down, who are already on the ground with the Symmetra, and they will clean up the fight for Wise Cres on DPS as they regain control of the point.
Due to the replay, I'm not sure if you guys saw the entire sequence, but basically what Tinder Slayer did was they decided to hold the first choke, which allowed Wise Cres on DPS to TP for free, and that caused them to lose that fight over there. Simwall already being used on this fight. Fear of God! Oh my god!
He's just on fire this whole round. Beaming down, there's nothing Tinder Godslayer can do, and 9%, 8%. Tinder Godslayer, someone needs to touch, or the round will be over. Lin, he tries. There's nothing he can do. He pops the Death Blossom, but to no avail, just gets shut down. And we are right now on match point, and Wise Cres on DPS will take this round in dominating fashion.
Alright, Wise Cres on DPS, their sim actually opted out super well for them, and this just allowed them to just clean up the members of Tinder Godslayer as they were walking past the choke point. Now, Tinder Godslayer actually did make the mistake of holding past, of like not holding point, which allowed Wise Cres on DPS just to TP onto point for free, and that is the snowball that caused Tinder Godslayer to lose the map right there. But we're seeing some double bubble action coming in from the side of Tinder Godslayer, along with the Baptiste, Lucio, and Reaper McCree. Wise Cres on DPS opting for their Symmetra comp again, and just having control of the point is just so important here. Lin on the flank with the Reaper. Fear of God just adamantly holding the frontline space.
Wise Cres on DPS right now just stabilizing on the point. Tinder Gods, they are playing slow, scouting the opportunity, and that is Aftershock goes in with the double bubble. But Nabit already catches one on the remove, and Ampha also catches one on the side of his other tank.
Alright. Wise Cres on DPS just showing who is the brainiest of them all here. Their TP just allows them to get control of the point, and even if Tinder Godslayer wants to flank, they just group up and just clean up and just pressures all the flankers away so that Tinder Godslayer can't really do anything about it.
Lin hesitating, does not know what to stop. He hovers to the Pharah for Muma, Spectre Reapers, Adrealis pops in Application Matrix, and Charmaine already catches the kill as Tinder Godslayer forced running between their tails back to their spawn as Wise Cres on DPS and wins another fight.
That was actually a perfectly executed window fire strike there. Charmaine caught the unsuspecting Violate off guard, and that just allowed Wise Cres on DPS just to push through Tinder Godslayer as they didn't have the speed boost to just help them out.
They're doing the same rotation again, but Wise Cres on DPS have so many outs. They have the graph, they just lock them in and the shatter to ensure the following chaos. And Fear of God already gets a kill with his right click. And the Sim Shield, there's nothing Junkrat can do with his High Noon. 65%. Tinder Godslayer needs to do something, or they could be stars facing down the barrel of a loss. And Claire gets the focusing beam onto Junkrat, forced to retreat. 1.5 fight left for Tinder Godslayer.
This is just cleanup after cleanup after cleanup. I didn't expect Fear of God to pick the Symmetra on this point. Grab already comes in from Ampha, so does the beat from Violet, the window from Reboot. Somebody else being made with the huge ult.
Oh, that's even huger! That may be enough to turn Tinder Godslayer, Storm alive around. He gets 4 boop kills. Violate. He does not want his team to lose right now. He's dragging his team to a point victory. But Fear of God is coming back onto the scene. He's just beaming down everyone. They need to do something quick. Tinder God Slayer. Where are they? They may be the God Slayers, but why is Cres on DPS? They have Fear of God himself, and then the God Slayer can't do anything because why is Cres on DPS wins them in a map fight, and they will go to the grand finals.
I'm just astounded at what happened on that last fight there. It was such a roller coaster of emotions. Charmaine hitting that huge shatter, Nabbit hitting that 4-man boop, and just all over. It was just all over the place. My brain couldn't comprehend it.
Everyone here doubting why is Cres on DPS, but Fear of God just pushing his team to victory there. The same strategy, beaming down everyone. The rush comp, the Ryan just can't hold his shoot up against the blue beam. And at the end of the day, on Lijiang Tower, Wise Cres on DPS will be the one to take the map 5 in dominating fashion.
Indeed, indeed. Now, that both in my opinion, I think all of the maps, they weren't really one-sided, but Lijiang was the most one-sided out of them all. Now, Tinder God Slayer just couldn't do anything about Wise Cres's on DPS's just absolute dominance of the point. And yeah, they just didn't know if they were to flank to it or if they were to just fight it on main, which just allowed Wise Cres on DPS to just get staggers for free. And yeah, that just I think that's
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
not sure. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and Wise Cres on DPS, they win on their map choice, certainly fitting and showing when the nerfs are there, they need to clutch it out. Fear of God is there, Claire's there, their whole team is there. Charmaine lands a huge shatter on the last fight also. Whole team just comes together to win Lijiang Tower. And that's it. They win 3-2, going to the finals, and they'll be facing off the winner of our next game. And right now, we just finished our game and we'll be going to a quick break shortly. And after that, the analyst desk will be breaking down all the action right here and going through what was happening next. So stay tuned.
All right, so we're back once again, sir, and that's the end of a match between Tinder Godslayer versus Cres and DPS. And well, there's a little bit of a twist here, like. Like we all like all the analysts, all the casters, they predict like Tinder Godslayer just gonna 3-1 this very easy. But it turns out Cres and DPS they are on top of Tinder Godslayer here, which is some kind of logistic. We did not expect it that Cres and DPS actually outplayed to the Godslayer. Just like I said, anything could happen, and it turns out Cres and DPS is gonna 3-2 here onto the Godslayer here. Well, we did not expect the overtimes here. We did not expect Cres and DPS to outplay really good. Although to the Godslayer they are just on par with Cres and DPS here, and so let's find out the reason why Tinder Godslayer lost to Cres and DPS, and how did Cres and DPS outplay to the Godslayer here. So let's welcome back our two analyzers here, Oputo and Akame here. All right, say hi.
Hi.
All right, so the first question I'm gonna ask you is how did Cres and DPS win? All right, so start off with Oputo.
I think it's about Tinder. Not gonna lie, I feel like Tinder today they make a lot of mistake, especially how they play with each other. I feel like they didn't support each other enough. Like example in Watch Point Border first point when they attack, right? They got stormed by soldier until they have nano boost, and they like nano boost and dive together at the same time. Like they spend a lot of time on first point border because they didn't play together as a team when they dive until they have nano boost. I don't know why. It's like they didn't communication. Like their communication might be bad today, I guess. And
No.
in Legion Tower, they play bad comp against good comp. Like you play Reaper, right? But you play Reaper against Ryan, Zarya, and Symmetra. Like Reaper need to rush and do like the damage, like high damage in short. How to say, like
Short distance.
yeah, short distance and short time. Like you need to do everything so quickly. But when you play against him and you play really slow, like you holding corner and waiting, it makes Sim stronger, because Sim is strong when she like fight in a long time, like because she can charge her energy, right, and do a lot of damage in Legion Tower. That's why they lost. And I feel like Tinder, they don't know how to play against him, right? I feel like they don't know how to play against him. When I watch it, I feel like they don't even like realize what they should like focus first, what they should do first to play against Symmetra comp. That's why they lost in Legion Tower. But I feel like they should lost the game when they play in Anubis as well. I feel like they play really bad comp. I disagree with they play Baptiste, Lucio with Vincent, Zarya, because Baptiste cannot healing Vincent when Vincent wants to jump in, right? You can see you can see like when Vincent jump in some time, he take a lot of damage, and he didn't get heal at all because Baptiste cannot heal Vincent. But the reason why they won that map, because why it's chess on DPS, they don't know how to play the map. I feel like they didn't practice this map enough, so that's why they lost. Even Tinder Godslayer played so bad and play bad comp. Like why it's just on DPS they give a lot of space for Tinder in Anubis, but in let me think. In Legion Tower they played so perfectly, but I feel like this matchup is about Tinder. They make a lot of mistakes and they don't know why they playing bad.
All right.
Yeah.
So, well, what do you think, Akame? What was the reason that Wise Cres and DPS take a W here?
I would say they really communicated well. They planned their out usage really well, and basically makes moves that Tinder God Slayer don't have an answer to. They really like how to say they lead the tempo in order to win the team fight, you know. Because in Overwatch, in a high-paced game, like tempo is everything, and you like don't lead the tempo, don't lead the fight first. Oftentimes you overcommit, and even if you overcommit in ults, you still lose. So like I think it's just Tinder God Slayer after like the first half, they kind of got how does like panic, or they tried to make hero plays, they tried to use ults and everything, and you know, in a sense overextend themselves, and this gives Wisecrest and DPS so many chances to get picks and still win the fight, even though Tinder God Slayer used more ults. So that's my point of view of why they won the match.
All right. So we heard it from these two analyzers here. So it's mostly like the Tina Gosslayer just made mistakes and just gave a free win to Wise Cres and DPS here. But all right. So before we move forward here, I would like to know your opinion here. Like who you choose to be like the player of the match here, like the player who did the most here, the player who was the most valuable out of this match, the match between Tita Goslia against the White Skirts and DPS. So I will start off with Akame. Do you have like player of the match in your mind?
It's definitely gonna be Shemaine for me. Like he performed so well during this match. All his shatters are really huge, like 3% and above for almost every single shatter. And his timing and like he's giving so much space for his DPS to do so much work, and utilizing the mistakes that Tinder God Slayer that they made, and utilizing them to get picks, get these shatters, get the graphs, everything, and just win the game for Cres. What is Cres on DPS?
All right, so for Akame is sure my niece. Yeah, and what about Obito? Who is your player of the match?
Not anyone impressed me, I think. But I will give to Shaman. I think he make a lot of like good play today compared to other players. Yeah.
All right, so both of these analyzers gave Shermani for player of the match here, and well, for me personally, I think I will also give it to Shermani too, because he impressed me a lot of ways that he created space for both DPS and support player to play. So that's like he's the main core for team Wise Curse and DPS, and well, that's basically why Wise Curse and DPS won against the Gaslight here. All right. So before we're coming back here, talking about our second match here, which is going to be Game Stones against McDonald's fan club here.